Hi Cancer, welcome to your June 2018 reading. You might notice the cards in front of us right now. That's a 10 card Celtic cross spread. We had a couple of extras come out. I usually take those when that's the case. And then there's also one oracle card up there that we'll be looking at after we read through all of the initial cards in the spread. So let's get started. Well, first under the deck we do see the 10 of Swords. So people tend to view that as a negative card, of course. But I will point out that initially the image with the 10 of Swords wasn't someone with swords in their back. It was actually exactly like the 10 of Wands image, where the person was just carrying 10 swords with them. And that's a card of Gemini. It's the last 10 degrees of Gemini. So all this could be pointing out in your spread is that you're moving into the Cancer energy, which we will be towards the end of the month. Happy birthday, by the way, speaking of which. And not only that, it could just be saying that it's time to stop thinking as much and start feeling a little bit more. But it feels odd that we would have to tell that to Cancer, right? So let's take a look at the spread. In the main position, we have Knight of Cups. This is usually my Pisces card, so you could be dealing with a Pisces. Also, this is still water energy, so it could easily be you. It could be an emotional offer of some kind being made, or you're making it yourself. But in the challenge position, we do see the 3 of Swords and the Hanged Man. So what could be happening here is if someone made an offer to you, you might still be recovering from a heartbreak, and therefore you're in the Hanged Man position, not ready to accept the offer. It could even be that it's really more that this offer could have led to heartbreak. I highly doubt it, though. With it being in this position, that would have been really fast. So I doubt that's what it is. It might be someone coming back after a heartbreak. We'll see as we go along. But what I'm tending to think it is someone's extending an offer to you and you're just not ready at this time, because we have the Hanged Man energy with the 3 of Swords telling me that you're feeling in this position, you're in stagnation, thinking things over, looking at things from a different perspective. We'll see as we go along if that's really the case, though. In the foundation position, we have 2 major arcana cards. We have the Fool, that's 0 in the major arcana, and we have the World, 21, which is the highest numbered card in the major arcana. This actually represents to me, it's not the beginning of the journey in the major arcana or the end. It's really just that in limbo period. And combine that with this card, which I view as the North Node card, as a completion card. It could be that you completed one cycle and you're now starting a new one. This card is also seen as a Saturn card from time to time, and it's worth noting that Saturn is currently in your opposite sign, so it could even be ending one relationship, starting another. That would kind of tie into what we're seeing with these cards here. So it could be ended something, you're still in this position, but you might be starting a new relationship soon. In the past position, we have the Knight of Wands. This is typically my Sagittarius card. Since you are ruled by the moon, it could just be pointing out that you had the full moon in Sagittarius a few days ago, because the full moon would affect you more than most, since the moon is your ruler. And if not, I mean, we did have Saturn in Sagittarius recently, and it's now moved on to Capricorn, so this could be talking about issues you had in work, maybe health issues you had in the past. In the present position, we have the 5 of Swords. There's not really an easy way to put a positive spin on this card. This is usually an ego conflict of some sort. Usually it's a battle where no one necessarily wins. I mean, you see the person holding the swords there, they have kind of like a sly look on their face, but usually it's winning at the cost of what, right? You see those 2 people walking away, so this could be a battle with family, it could be friendships, whatever the case may be. Usually there's no winners in these types of situations. In the near future position, you have the Magician. So this is another major arcana. It's actually number 1 in the major arcana. And I also view this as my South Node card. Right now, the South Node is in your 8th house. So between that and seeing the North Node here, it could be talking about financial dealings that you've had recently. Not to mention the South Node will be moving into Capricorn later this year, and the North Node will be moving into your sign. So it could be talking about that as well. But I mean, in this position, on a more mundane level, it could just be even saying that you're ready to manifest something new. And if we look at where he's pointing down here. So you could be starting something new in the area of work, because in the position of your influence on the situation, this is the 8 of Pentacles. This is a Virgo card. As you could see from what the picture shows, it's someone hard at work. Looks like something that they're happy to do. In the position of the environment, we have the Queen of Swords. So this could be someone you're dealing with. It could be a Libra if it is someone you're dealing with. It could also be someone in your environment that has that Libran energy. Very fair, but maybe not the quickest to make decisions. Approaching things from a much more logical point of view than you normally would. And it's certainly possible you were dealing with an air sign, given the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Swords up there. If that's the case, most likely was a Libra. And it's also worth noting Libra represents your 4th house, which is the house that Cancer naturally rules. So it could just be saying that you're trying to spend some time at home. A very Cancerian thing to do. In your hopes and fears position, we have the 7 of Wands. I would assume that this is a fear. Maybe you're fearing standing up for yourself, but it could also be a hope. You're hoping to stand up for yourself, maybe regarding that 5 of Swords situation, the 3 of Swords situation. Maybe you're hoping for the strength to stand up for yourself and speak out if you've been wronged in some way. If that's the case, we have some good news, because in your outcome card, we have the 6 of Wands. This is known as a victory card. It's actually a card of Leo. But yeah, it's generally known as a victory card. On a more mundane level, this could just even be referring to the fact that your birthday is coming up soon, being a Cancer. As we get towards the end of June and the start of next month, this kind of represents that. Bunch of people just contacting you for your birthday, wishing you happy birthday. Maybe you go out and celebrate that. So it could be that. It doesn't have to necessarily be anything major. But since I do see the 2 major arcanas pointing to the nodes, we do have Leo with the North Node right now, which is your 2nd house. So with that and the 8 of Pentacles, you could be experiencing some kind of success financially. Alright, and now we'll take a look at your Oracle card. Help it tie everything together. And the card you got is called a Leg Up. That's number 34 in this deck. And you see a polar bear with a cub. So let's look at the messages for this card. All right. First, it says essential meanings: receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. The Oracle's message: you've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. If this is regarding a relationship, there's also a relationship message here, and that says, Relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask and it is given. And lastly, we have a prosperity message. So this will be if you're dealing with finances, most likely. Now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or business advisor who has been where you want to go, to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid in your prosperity. It may also be the case that your endeavors have grown and you are in a position where you just can't do it all yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps toward your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. Okay, so tying that into what we see in the reading here, that would make sense, especially if you're dealing with a work project, right? It's saying if you need to reach out to a mentor, you can do so. I mean, like we said here, we do see some node energy, and the nodes will soon be moving into your sign, so that's something to keep in mind. Going back to the relationship message, let me pull that back up. I did appreciate that it says healthy relationships thrive on interdependence, and speak up about your needs if you want them to be fulfilled. Sometimes Cancers can be in such a mode of giving that sometimes their needs go unmet and they don't necessarily speak up about it. So if that's the case and you're thinking that maybe, oh, this person's going to be so logical, they're not going to take what you have to say seriously, you don't necessarily have to feel that way, especially this particular energy, even though it is an air sign energy and you might think that. They tend to be very fair. I mean, you have this manifestation card here in your near future. So I would say that I agree with the cards there, that if it is a matter of you feeling like your needs are unmet and you want them to be, if you speak up, I would expect that it would go well. All right, I'll take a quick look, see if there are any other messages. No, I think we'll wrap up there. All right. I'll see you guys next month. And again, happy birthday. Bye.